Hello, everyone. Raymond Mhor, Kilted Prepper. How's everybody doing? Listen, I thought I would come in here really quickly and share with you a graphic I created today. I mean, it's interesting. I was over at the NOAA website. That's the big weather government weather website. On there, you are able to run map models and see with wind direction and so forth where things are going. And so I used that with East Palestine City and the cloud and everything, looking at the wind directions and stuff. And then also, did another one where I started it on the 13th and then it's ending on the 12th. But it's showing that the cloud is dipping quite low, all the way down to 1,500 feet. And so, but I created this graphic here. Let me show it to you real quick. And it's a rather large graphic. And I made this so that you can print it out, share it with other people, and so forth. But I have some big concerns with what's going on out there, and that is one, we are seeing this cloud basically go over Pittsburgh and head east, and so we're or Pennsylvania, excuse me, and head east, and so it's hitting. Let's see, Pennsylvania, it's hitting Vermont, it's hitting all the states, Delaware, New Hampshire, all those states, New York, and so this cloud is slowly drifting over. Now, also in this graphic, what I did is I grabbed another graphic that someone posted showing the Ohio Valley and uh, and the waterways, and the Ohio River actually is quite close to East Palestine, and so a lot of these chemicals and everything are already seeping into the Ohio River. Now, the big deal is that the Ohio Valley, which is fed by the Ohio River, is a huge breadbasket for the United States. And then the Ohio also connects with the Mississippi River. And so all this water, all these contaminants and everything are being pulled into the Ohio River, and then it's going to feed into the Mississippi. And as always, all you know, the Mississippi then dumps out into the Delta of Gulf of Mexico. So all this contaminated water is going to be running through basically America's breadbasket, aka the Ohio Valley, and then funneling on down through the states. And so farmlands are going to be affected, cattle ranches are going to be affected. Anybody that pulls water from these sources or such is going to be affected because it's contaminated water. And it is a known, we know that vinyl chloride is a definite carcinogen and causes cancer. It's also very poisonous. Depending on how many, that's my little dog. Sorry about that. It's what happens when you go live. But it's a known carcinogen. It is also a known poison, and based upon on how many milli ppls you get or whatever it is, basically it'll kill you. So what I've done here again is I've created this graphic, and I'll share. I'll pin a link to it down below, so that you can grab this graphic, share it with your friends, and again, I tried to put these two maps out on Facebook, and Facebook pulled them down, and so I recreated this graphic as a whole graphic, and I've got it up there and on my wall. So if you go to Raymond Mhor on Facebook, you can pull it down there, as well as many of my other social media links, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, so forth. And you can grab that graphic, or you can get the big file, which I will again pin to the comments so that you can grab it yourself and print it out, be able to share it and do whatever it is you want with it. Get the word out, because the big issue is, the water affecting the Ohio River and affecting the Mississippi, and so it's going to be very serious. and there's going to be some serious long-term effects. Now, some of the very near effects that I believe that we're going to see is one, shortage of water, because people are going to be not being able to drink from these sources. And then two, because farmers and ranchers are going to be pulling from these sources initially, they're not going to be able to do it. It's going to contaminate food. It's going to contaminate the cattle and livestock. And so I think that we're going to maybe even see higher food prices probably later this year, because all these farmlands are getting ready to get planted and they're putting seed into the ground. And one of the first things you do is really water the ground and everything so that the seeds will germinate. And what are they watering it with? Yeah, contaminated water. So, which will then contaminate the food and then also contaminate the livestock if it doesn't kill the livestock and things. So this is pretty big deal. And I don't know why the powers that be have been taking so long to respond to this. I mean, like many other people, where's FEMA in all this? Where's Uncle Joe in all this? Where are all these environmentalists? Where's Greta Thunberg or whatever her name is? Why isn't she over here protesting this? I mean, nothing. And so it's very disturbing that this is going on, this is taking place, and there's just basically been no response from the powers that be. So, but another interesting thing is all of a sudden we're seeing a rash of derailments everywhere. I mean, there was one in Houston, there was one in Michigan today, there was one in Tennessee, and so we're starting to see these, and it is rumored that a certain Antifa group, or Antifa itself, has put out pamphlets showing how to derail trains. And so not only is our energy and our energy plants and stations are being threatened, it looks like now that possibly even train derailments are now going to start to take place. So, but that is, it's just something I want to do. Hey, Linda, how you doing? Thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate it. I just thought I'd do a quick video here because I want to get this graphic out. Facebook has been pulling my pictures, and so this is important information, and I want, excuse me, people to get it out there, share it with others. But I created this large graphic so that it's print beautiful, and you can share it with other people and everything like that. So print it out, and if you live in some of these affected areas, share this information with people, because people are just they're not even in the know or something, it seems. So it's kind of weird that people are not even paying attention. Well, because it hasn't been on the news. In fact, CNN just this afternoon reported on how people are maybe getting sick in Palestine or East Palestine, Ohio. And that is the first time anybody's been saying anything on any of the major news sources. So today, CNN finally said something. But I will put a link here, put a link there, and so that you can get it and download it, share it with everybody and things. But really start prepping. I mean, and you may want to start getting bottled water on hand, and you may want to start continue to get extra food and extra stuff. Look at your water. And I'll put a link to some water filters that we use. And I believe they're called Dunbar or Dunham or something, but they're from England. And I believe they are the filters that Berkey used to use before they created their own filters. But these are the filters that I've used forever, and I totally believe in them. And they again filter everything out. And so it's interesting that so there's been videos showing that Berkey filters don't work the way Berkey filters are saying they're supposed to work, because they've been running tests and everything on them, and they're not showing up to be par. So my nephew and his wife, number to live in Columbus, Ohio, not really far enough away from Palestine. Wow. Yeah. Another website, and I'll pin that one too as well. A web app called windy.com. Windy.com. And what it is it shows all the wind patterns that take place basically all over the world. You can zoom in any place in the world, but it will show you the wind patterns And right now, the wind patterns are actually blowing the cloud up north and then swooping it down again into the eastern seaboard states. And so, luckily enough, we are safe here in Virginia. And then also, we're somewhat pretty safe from the water and everything that is going down the Ohio River and the Ohio Valley and the Mississippi. But if your states or anything are tapping into that Ohio water system or the Mississippi water system, you may want to, get some good water filters. The U.S., I mean, the government or some of the powers that be have been saying, oh, you need to, boil water. And folks, this won't do it. Boiling water will not do it. It's actually attaching itself to the water molecules and everything. You literally need to filter it. And so that's why I say you want to get some good filters and everything. There's a lot of videos on YouTube on how to make a 5-gallon mock Berkey. I mean, I could do one myself, but why reinvent the wheel? There's a lot of them. What I can do is point you to some good ones as well. But the filters are what matters. And so you can make a nice water filter system out of 2 5-gallon buckets. But it's the filters that matter. And again, I'll share the link of the filters that we use. And I've got backup filters and everything like that as well. But it filters everything out, just like what Berkey filters do. So that's everything. And I just wanted to come on here real quick and let folks know Facebook has been pulling my pictures. And so I just want to share them with you, get the word out that, hey, this is a really good picture to share with everybody. I took a lot of time. I went to the NOAA website and ran some weather maps with weather projections and everything. And it's really not looking good for the eastern seaboard. So that's everything for right now. If y'all have any questions or anything, again, comment below. And then if you haven't done so, do me a favor, please subscribe to this channel, share this video so other people can get this information out as well with regarding this image and this information. Because I think this is going to be a long road to hoe, and I think it's going to really affect us probably midsummer to early fall. We're going to start seeing the repercussions of this in regards to at least food prices. And I might be wrong, but I think a lot of people are going to be really concerned about growing crops and raising cattle and such with contaminated water. There's going to be a kind of a whiplash effect, I think, because the government and powers that be just did not respond quite in time, and people are starting to wake up, and the masses are already kind of starting to ask questions. What the heck is this, and why didn't I hear about it? So we're going to start seeing a whiplash effect. Can you show the picture again? There, right there. Hopefully. And again, I'll put a link to this so that you can grab it. And so, in fact, let me do that right now. I think I have it. Let's see if it'll work. There we go. That's a link to the graphic right there. I just put it in the comments, but I'll pin all this stuff again to the top of the comments section and everything. But like, subscribe, share, and I just want to thank you all for taking the time to watching this, and then again, let's get the word out, because the news agencies and everything else are not doing it, and people are going to die. This is one. I mean, a number of people have been calling this a Chernobyl event, the Chernobyl of the U.S., because this is serious. And, it seems that the powers that be are really dragging their feet. So that's everything, folks. I really appreciate you coming in. And so we'll see you. Goodbye. God bless. And kilt on.